Okay, we've all been there, right? You decide to get serious. You're hitting the gym, you're sweating, you're putting in the work, but then you step on the scale and nothing. Maybe the number even went up. It is one of the most maddening feelings, and it makes you ask, is all this effort even doing anything? Well, today, we're going to untangle that very paradox.
So, what is the deal? Why doesn't working out harder just automatically equal weighing less? The answer, and this is the important part, has nothing to do with you not having enough discipline. It's not a personal failure at all. It's a scientific puzzle. And the first piece of that puzzle is hiding in a place you'd never think to look.
You see, our bodies are, well, they're smart. They've been fine-tuned over millions of years to resist losing weight. So when we burn a bunch of calories through exercise, our bodies have these clever little compensatory mechanisms that fight back. And one of the most mind-blowing mechanisms doesn't happen in your muscles or your gut. It happens right up here, in your brain.
That's right, we're starting with the brain. It turns out that a good, hard workout can actually change what your brain pays attention to in the world around you. It basically hijacks your attention and points it directly at one thing: food.
The key scientific idea here is called attentional bias. The best way to think of it is like your brain's subconscious autopilot. It's the thing that makes your eyes automatically flick over to a billboard for a juicy burger, or maybe linger just a half second too long on the dessert menu. It's this unconscious pull, and a really cool study found that exercise can turn the power of that pull way, way up.
So how do we know this? Well, a study in the journal Physiology and Behavior set up this really elegant experiment. They got 30 adults together and used a special eye tracker to see exactly where they were looking. On one day, they had them work out until they burned 500 calories. On a totally different day, they had the same people just kick back and watch TV. And before and after each one, they measured where their eyes went.
And the results were wow, just wow. Look at this chart. After watching TV, the amount of time they spent looking at food pictures barely budged. It was basically the same. But look over at the exercise group. Their focus on the food images jumped from around 49% to over 55%. That's a huge shift in attention, all from a single workout.
And it's not just my interpretation. The researchers themselves put it in black and white. They said that this increased focus on food could be a key reason why it's so darn hard to lose weight with exercise alone. Your body isn't just a little hungrier, your brain is literally put on high alert to go find food.
So here's the best way to picture it. Think of your brain's attention as a spotlight. Most of the time, it's just kind of scanning around. But after you exercise, that spotlight gets cranked up to its brightest setting, and it locks on, laser-focused, onto any food cue it can find. And that brings us to the next big question: what kind of world is that spotlight lighting up?
Yeah, this is where our own biology crashes right into our modern world, because that post-workout brain spotlight, it isn't scanning a forest for berries, it's scanning grocery store aisles and fast food menus that are packed with things specifically designed to grab our attention.
We are talking about ultra-processed foods, or UPFs. They are absolutely everywhere, and they are engineered to be delicious, convenient, and to look amazing. They're basically the perfect bullseye for a brain that's just been primed to seek them out.
So, what in the world is an ultra-processed food? The official definition is a bit of a mouthful, but the gist is this: they're industrial formulas. If you can't recognize the original plant or animal it came from, and the ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment, you're probably holding a UPF. And this table just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got real food. A fresh apple, plain yogurt, you know. On the right, you have their ultra-processed cousins. Fruit snacks instead of fruit. Sugary cereals instead of plain grains. The difference is pretty stark, and it's this world on the right that our post-exercise brain has to navigate.
This begs a massive question, doesn't it? Does the type of food we're surrounded by have a bigger effect than we think? To find out, researchers at the National Institutes of Health cooked up a truly brilliant experiment to see what happens when you feed people nothing but UPFs.
The design of this study was just so clever. They took a group of people, and for 2 weeks they gave them a diet made entirely of whole, minimally processed foods. Then they took the very same people and for another 2 weeks switched them to a diet of ultra-processed foods. And on both diets, people could eat as much as they wanted. The only thing they changed was the food itself.
So what happened? Get this. When people were on the ultra-processed diet, they just ate more, automatically, without even trying. On average, they ate an extra 508 calories every single day. That's a huge difference, driven just by the food they were offered.
And this slide just shows the direct results on their bodies. In the 2 weeks they ate whole foods, people lost about 2 pounds. In the 2 weeks on the ultra-processed diet, those same people gained about 2 pounds. It is a perfect, stunning mirror image. It shows that the food environment itself can completely override our best intentions.
So if the problem is a 1-2 punch of our biology and our environment, then the solution can't just be try harder. We have to change the environment. And that's where policy comes in, rewriting the rules of the game to make the healthy choice the easy choice.
One of the most powerful ways to do that is with front-of-package food labels. Over the years, countries have tried a few different approaches. You've got the complex daily allowance grids, the red, yellow, green traffic light systems, and a newer, much more direct approach, simple warning labels.
Now, it turns out that the more complicated the label, the less it actually works. All those little boxes with percentages and grams, the GDA labels, are just too much for our brains to process in the split second we have in a grocery aisle. Study after study shows they have almost no effect on what people buy.
And that is exactly why what Chile did was so revolutionary. They went for dead simple clarity. They put a mandatory black stop sign-shaped warning label right on the front of any package that was high in things like sugar, salt, or saturated fat. You literally cannot miss it.
And the big question, did it work? Oh yeah, it worked. After putting these warning labels in place, Chile saw the purchases of sugary drinks fall by nearly 25%. That isn't some small statistical blip. That's a massive, society-wide change in behavior, all driven by clear, simple information. Which brings us right to our final thought. The struggle with weight isn't just a personal battle fought on a treadmill. It's a mismatch between our ancient biology and our super modern food environment. But as we've seen, that environment isn't set in stone. It can be redesigned, it can be re-engineered for health. Chile proved it. So the real question isn't whether it's possible, it's what's stopping the rest of us from doing it too.